Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also leave a like. Shout out to Cake Sita. Thank you. Welcome. Shout out to Santiago. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Sarada. Shout out to Mia. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Alitzel. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Maggie. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to Raiden. Shout out to Julia. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Shannon. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Marissa. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Anisha. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Julian. Shout out to Jeremiah. Shout out to Reagan, sorry. Shout out to Jace. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Ivana. Shout out to Chevelle. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Grayson. Also write your name in the chat. Shout out to Jules. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Larisha. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Joey, sorry. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to Annabelle. Shout out to Bryson. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Autumn. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Maloney. Shout out to Addison. Shout out to Kayla. Please like and subscribe. Shout out to Vivian. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Kenna. Shout out to Ari. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Cosette. Shout out to Ziva, or Ziva. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Happy birthday. Shout out to Amira. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Leah, or Leia. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Karen. Shout out to Selena. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Philip. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Kathy. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Joanne. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Hunter. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Braylon. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to, whoopsie, I messed up. Shout out to Georgia, happy birthday. Shout out to Tucker. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Annie. Shout out to Zachary. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Tori. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Carrie Stanley. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Carnation. Shout out to Zachary. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Serenity. Shout out to Evelyn. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Camila. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to London. Shout out to Caleb. Happy birthday. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Kaden. Shout out to Chelsea. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to Shamona. Shout out to Kinsley. Shout out to Analia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sulma. Shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Kyson. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, please subscribe. I live stream every day around the same time as this. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. Also, check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. Your support means the world to me. Thank you for being here. Check out my channel. I post other content. Shout out to Henley. Shout out to Hakeem. Shout out to Landon. Shout out to Noe. Shout out to Willow. Shout out to Maurice. Shout out to Ashley. Whoopsie, I messed up. Shout out to Silas. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Felipe. Shout out to Emmy. Shout out to Slugfish. Shout out to Tiff. Shout out to Clayton. Shout out to Uliana. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Amaya. Shout out to Audie. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to CL Junior Tafunga. I'm so sorry. I know I messed up your name. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Odd Jermaine. Thank you so much. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Jimena. Shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Isabella. Shout out to Casey. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to King. Shout out to Trista. Shout out to Bailey. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Adrina. Shout out to Maya. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Primrose. Shout out to Elena. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Harley. Shout out to Chelsea. Shout out to Kate. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Solomon. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Sial Junior Tafunga. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for your support. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Peta. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Freya. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Elizabeth. Shout out to Landon. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Harlow. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Lane. Shout out to Michael. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Max. Also, please subscribe if you want to support my channel. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Sejas. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Rylan. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Nadia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Miranda. Shout out to David. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Sabrina. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to Benjamin. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Genesis. Shout out to Malia. Shout out to Gianna. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Oopsie, I messed up. Let me write it again because I messed up. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Salomon. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Tamia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Humphrey. Shout out to Kellen. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Katarina. Shout out to Carter. Shout out to Iceland. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Let's see. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to Gabrielle Sanchez. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Cleo. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Gannon. Shout out to RBG 3000. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Sial Junior Tafunga. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Fahad. Shout out to John. Shout out to Sharia. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Bethany. Shout out to Mumtaz. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Wilmer. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live streams. I do shout outs every day around the same time as this. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also, thank you for your patience. I know I don't write the fastest, so thank you so much for taking the time to write your name. I truly appreciate it. My name's Ness from Ness DIY Corner if you want to check out my channel. Shout out to Alexis Butcher. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Shams. Shout out to Annie. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Brandon. I'm gonna write Annie again because I messed up right there. There we go. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Marley. Shout out to James. Shout out to Victoria Lalonde. Thank you so much. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Annie. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Erin Miller. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Connor Lee. Shout out to Abel. Shout out to Oakland. Shout out to Axel. Shout out to Aaron Miller. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Mackenzie. Shout out to Latia. Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Tennessee. Shout out to Lainey. Shout out to Violet. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Grayson. Shout out to Noah Harding. Shout out to Minerva. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Anne. Shout out to Sahar. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Mishka. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Vivid. Shout out to Marie. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to James. Shout out to Briggs. Shout out to Cat's Eye. Shout out to Noel. Shout out to Carter. Shout out to Leslie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, please subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate it. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Cope. Shout out to Maya. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Nelly. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Manon. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to Ava. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Mark. Thank you for your patience. I know I don't write the fastest. So thank you so much, everyone. Shout out to Toka Isla. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Yunche. Shout out to Naomi. Shout out to Samani. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Amia. Shout out to Caroline. Shout out to Yunche. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Ali or Ali. Shout out to Shakai. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. I think I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. There we go. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Natalia. Shout out to Presley. Shout out to Mila. Shout out to Richard. Shout out to Elianis. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Timmy. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Salha. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Izzy. Shout out to Steven. Shout out to Shauna Boyd. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Stacy Burgess. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Elsie. Shout out to Princess. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Aubrey. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Avelia. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to Come Play with Vanessa. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Whoopsie, I messed up. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Ello. Shout out to Ghost. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I know I don't write the fastest, so I appreciate your patience and your time. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Also, check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. I post other content there. Shout out to Evelina. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Esmeralda Arellano. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Regina. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Blakely. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Fulton fam. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Kasim. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to Ricardo. Shout out to Devin. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Isabel. Shout out to Jasmine. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for your support. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Lyric. Shout out to Sammy. Shout out to Kaylin. Shout out to Ariana. Shout out to Cassidy. Shout out to Annie. Shout out to Zari. Shout out to Briella. Shout out to Dezion. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kalel. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Maybe we can get to 300 likes. I think we could do it. Shout out to John. Shout out to Louis or Luis. Shout out to Sarai. Shout out to Carolina. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Diego. Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Marlene. Shout out to Alina. Shout out to Cecia. Shout out to Alina. Oh, I already put Alina. Shout out to Josie. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to Tessa. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Francisco. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Francis. Shout out to Addie. Shout out to Rima. Shout out to Stacy Burgess. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Linda. Is it Linda Neufeld? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Mason. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Osman. Shout out to Stella. I try to write fast. I don't think I write fast, but thank you. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Irene Ruiz. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Isabella. Thank you. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Andrea. Shout out to Diego. Shout out to Joy. Shout out to Lorelai. Shout out to Manuel. Shout out to Justin Heredia. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Bennett. Shout out to Boo Bear. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Marlon. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Bryson. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Justin Heredia. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Cece. Shout out to Kelsey. Shout out to Idris. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Justin Heredia. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Liliana. Oh no, who did I say? Oh, shout out to Liliana. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Pavi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kate. Shout out to Juan. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. We're almost at 300 likes. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Kamaya. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Dominic. Shout out to Violet. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Uthman. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Liliana. Shout out to Hawa. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Amir. Shout out to Bertha. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Julian. Shout out to Kingston. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Malik. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Dimitri May. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Jenna. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Lulu. Shout out to Asma. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. And I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Thank you for your patience. Check out my channel. It's Ness DIY Corner. I post other content on YouTube Shorts. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Chanel. Shout out to Nora. Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to Valentina. Shout out to Penelope. Con Crazy. Shout out to Con Crazy. I'm so sorry. I try to read as fast as I can, and it goes, the live stream, the comments go by fast. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Jaden. Shout out to Vaughn. Shout out to Octavia. Shout out to Yoonjin. Shout out to Juliana. Shout out to Jackson. Excuse me. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Camila. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Adora. Shout out to Aaliyah. Shout out to Gio. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Harper. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Bennett. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Esperanza. Shout out to San Juanita Garcia. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Wafi. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Abigail. Shout out to Sarai. Wait, what was it? Soraya. Can everyone see me? Can everyone see the paper? Shout out to Devanshi. Shout out to Isaiah. Shout out to Kingston. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Camila Sass. Shout out to Wendy. Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Cadence. Shout out to Melanie. Shout out to Cash. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Alejandra. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Khadija. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Sophie. Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Michaela. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Mary. Shout out to Kylie. Shout out to Gray. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Owen. Shout out to Caitlin. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Evie. Shout out to Bam. Shout out to Themes. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Noah. Oh, I already put Noah. Shout out to Tarek. Shout out to Havana. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Johanna. Shout out to Alexia. Shout out to Atsiri. Shout out to Stella. Shout out to Marwa. Shout out to Yuki. Shout out to Emily. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Evelyn. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Emanuelis. Shout out to James. Shout out to Jojo. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Delilah. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Tarek. Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Maktu. Shout out to Marwa. Shout out to Kalani. Shout out to Enough. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Alani. Shout out to Carissa. Shout out to Nolan. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to She. Shout out to Maximilian. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Lisa or Liza. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Himari. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Royal. Shout out to these people. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I know I don't write the fastest, so I appreciate you taking the time to write your name out. Thank you so much. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Also, please check out my channel. It's Ness DIY Corner if you're interested. Shout out to Raquelina. Shout out to Taroki. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy. Already just put that. Shout out to Caroline. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Orlando, thank you. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to Alexa. Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Ezekiel. Shout out to Bo. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Amara. Shout out to River. Shout out to Brody. Shout out to Shams. Shout out to Becky. Shout out to Shadow. Shout out to Azari. Shout out to Angel. Shout out to Leah, or Leah, sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Janice. Shout out to Rio. Shout out to Brody. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Marwa. Let's try to get to 400 likes. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Ariel, or Ariel. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Stormy. Shout out to Zoe. Shout out to Lexi. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Sienna. Shout out to Bobo. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Macy. Shout out to Remy. Shout out to Zayden. Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Samantha. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Astrid. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Reem. Shout out to Batul. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Reem. I already put Reem. Shout out to Connor. Shout out to Twilight. Oops. I'm gonna rewrite it because I kind of messed up. Shout out to Jada. Shout out to Marcos. Shout out to Althea. Shout out to Hadley. Shout out to Capybara. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Let's try to get to 400 likes. We're almost there. Shout out to Anna. Shout out to... I'm so sorry. The live stream goes by, the chat goes by really fast. I'm so sorry if I haven't gotten to you. Shout out to Rodano. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Zainab. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Noel. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to Fran. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Barrett. Shout out to Lori Michelle. Shout out to Mon. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Kaylani. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Octavia. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Chanel. Shout out to Erin. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Beckham. Shout out to Eden. Shout out to Rylan. Shout out to Twilight. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. We're almost at 400 likes. Thank you so much for your support. Shout out to Scott. Shout out to Harper. Shout out to Taya or Taya. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Stella. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Piper. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to Aurora. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Wilmer. Shout out to Jace. Shout out to Hee Sung. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Vanessa. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Sergio. Shout out to Lincoln. Shout out to Elizabeth. Shout out to New. Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Alana. Shout out to Violet. Shout out to Harry Styles. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Gemma. Shout out to Troy. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Julia. Shout out to Gage. Shout out to Louie. Shout out to Abby. Thank you, Kaden, for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Felix. Shout out to Sadie. Shout out to Twilight. Shout out to Angelica. Shout out to Violet. Shout out to Jet. Shout out to Grace. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to Everett. Shout out to Shelby. Shout out to Ozzy. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Kira or Kiera. Shout out to Nioa. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Makai. Shout out to these people. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your patience in writing your name. Also check out my channel. It's Nest DIY Corner. I post other content like this if you're interested. I do tutorials. I hope you can check out my channel. Subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here. So check out my channel. I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.